Hi, my name's Anne-Marie Charrett, and these are my observations about models in software testing. This video is licensed under Creative Commons, so please share and attribute. You can do the right thing. What is a model? In its simplest form, a model is a representation of something. An architect will, for example, create a model of a building in order to demonstrate what it's going to look like. A fashion model shows what the clothes might look like on you. There are different types of models. We have the mental model, a formal model, and a physical model. What's a mental model? Think of it like the representation of the world in your head. Now that's kind of weird, but really it's made up of existing knowledge and experience that you've had. Think of it from the testing perspective. What can this mean? That would relate to, say, the product, your existing knowledge and experience of using the product, your existing knowledge and experience of testing, existing knowledge and experience of other similar products. All this combines to form a representation in your head of a product, and you might not even be conscious of it. This differs to a formal model. A formal model is an extension, if I'm creating the model, is an extension of my mental model. It'd be like a state machine or something like that. A physical model, on the other hand, would be a test environment, something that we can tangibly touch. So what's the big deal? Why use models in software testing? I can think of two reasons. The first one is that models help me understand better. They help me understand the product and how that product works, which is really important in testing. But also, it helps me understand the intent behind the product. What is the reason for the product? And why is somebody building it? How can it help? Secondly, creating formal models helps me to logically reason through a product, helps me to ask deeper questions and to find out more information. So how do I model? I use three ways. I read, I ask, and I do. I do a lot of reading. I read as much as I can about the product and about the intent of the product. Examples of documents might be requirements, but there's more. There's architecture, and there's a lot of secondary documents like user manuals that are incredibly helpful to understanding what the intent of the product is. I ask a super amount of questions out of the product owner and the developer. Again, because what does the intent of the product and understanding what the product, how it's actually built. And these help me create fantastic, rich models, especially if I use whiteboard sessions and things like that to help me find out more. And lastly, by running code, by executing, by using the product, I learn about the product, and that helps my mental model. Good modeling is about asking good questions. In particular, if I'm having a whiteboard session with a product owner or developer, I might ask these types of questions, pointing at a square box on the whiteboard. Why is that there? And what does it mean? And how does it work? These types of questions really help myself and the developers get a better understanding of the product at hand. When modeling, it's a really good idea to ask what's missing, what's not there. Can you see something on this slide that's missing? Lastly, there's the relationship between testing and models. What is testing? When I look at testing, it's about learning and it's about evaluating information. When we learn, we create models. They can be mental or formal. And when we evaluate, we ask questions from our models. Is there a problem? If you look at testing a little more deeply, about what exactly are we doing when we test? Testing is about learning and it's about evaluation. But what exactly is happening when we're doing that? Well, as we discussed, we have a model and we ask the question, is there a problem? But I think there's more to that. When we model, we're adding information to our existing mental model. Now, sometimes that information contradicts what we already know and believe. At that point, we ask ourselves, is there a problem here? If yes, we might raise a bug report. If meh, then we probably continue learning. But regardless, we modify our mental model and what we know. And that about wraps up this little video on modeling and software testing. I want to give credit to Michael Bolton and James Mack for their idea of mental models, which I got from Rapid Software Testing. I also want to thank you for listening and to let you know that this video is under Creative Commons license. You're free to use it, but make sure you mention my name. Thank you very much and have a great day.